Hey, what's up, everybody? So, just leaving my friend's house. We watched episode 5 of The Last of Us, and it was really freaking good. This is a spoiler. So, this one followed the game quite a bit, in a sense, and it veered off. But I liked how Henry was like, I haven't heard him laugh like that before, which is weird because they made Sam deaf in this. So I was wondering, because I was thinking the point where Ellie and Sam have that conversation in the other room about, like, do you think the human, like, do you think the people are in there, in the creatures? I thought it was really cool they kept the neighborhood, them walking through the neighborhood from the game. And the house, that was literally the same house where the sniper was. I mean, it was a little different because it was an old guy and he was sitting in the chair, but, and the gun was on a tripod. But I thought that was really cool. And obviously, they didn't have the one tanker from the game that comes in and starts shooting, and you're up and through the window protecting Ellie and Sam and Henry. But it was cool that it was a different way of doing it, and the effect that did come, and the bloater came up. Oh my God, the bloater was awesome. And the guy that voices Tommy got his head ripped off. I was like, oh man, Joel, they just killed your brother. Well, technically the voiceover brother. Yeah, that was really cool to see the bloater like that. And when they got back to the house, when Ellie and Joel was in the other room, and in the game, there was like a point where you go through a toy store when you're with Henry and Sam. And he goes to pick the toy robot up, and Henry's like, what did I say? He's like, carry what you can and leave everything else behind. So Ellie's looking over the robot, so she grabs it and puts it in her backpack. And later on, while they're having the conversation in the bedroom, Ellie's like, well, I'm going to bed. And she goes in the other room, and she says good night, and then he like kicks the robot over. Well, this definitely did the same thing, but in the sense it was Ellie was in the room when they fell asleep, and Ellie from the game, she didn't know he was infected until like Joel or Ellie went to go wake him up the next morning. But in this part, Ellie was in the chair asleep, woke up, and Sam is sitting on the edge of the bed, and all of a sudden he attacks her. So they go in the other room, and then he's on top of her, and Joel tried to go for the gun, and then Henry grabs it, and then Henry shoots Sam, and he's like freaks out that he shot his brother. And then Joel is trying to talk to him, be like, just give me the gun, and he points it at Joel, and Joel's like, oh, no, and then obviously Henry shoots himself. So I felt like that stayed in with the game perfectly. They did a great job. Even though they didn't go through the tunnels. Oh, speaking of tunnels, they went through the tunnels where they find where the people was living underneath. And they went into the run room, and they even had the goal thing where Ellie and Sam played soccer, which was really cool. So yeah, this one definitely followed the game really good. He even found the comic book that Joel finds throughout the game. And he's like, hey, Ellie, I found that comic book you read. So I didn't get to see the preview of what's going to happen for episode 6 next week. So I'm probably going to rewatch this episode. But it was definitely really sad. And yeah, and I thought Kathleen was going to be around for a while, but apparently she's not. She got attacked by a clicker. So yeah, Definitely a great episode. I loved it a lot. It stayed with the game for the most part. But yeah, episode 5 of The Last of Us was really awesome.